Hey family, welcome back to another video. It is amazing. I'm glad to see you all here. So we're going to go ahead on and get into this thing and continue with some wonderful groundwork. Hey guys, in this video, we're going to talk about why a godly man isn't threatened by a woman's no. I just want to let you know, if a woman says no, it may not automatically means rejection. It could be, I'm just going through some things right now, or I'm dealing with some processing. My heart hasn't fully came to the healing that I was expecting to right now. So guess what? How do we deal with that rejection? So with that being said, it's like, even with that, I just knew how I was already healed. I was ready. And I mentioned in the past that where I had I had a business or what have you, and you have to go for a no. And there's probably many of you who heard that before. And I know there's a book that's out there. I can't think of it right now, but it's like going for the no. And when you're going for the no, it automatically starts getting you prepared for what we would call a rejection, what we would call could be a disappointment, could be a moment where you always looking for a yes every time you ask a question or ask something from somebody, and you get the no, and you like destroyed. But God had already told me what I believe, what the conversations me and him been having, and how he showed me Davina after I went back into the group and saw her again. Out of everybody else, it's almost like he said, "All right, now you healed, got you. Now you ask me, here she is. She's been waiting on you." So it's like, even with that, I didn't see I didn't see rejection from her. I see relationship with my Father. I didn't see, I don't want this with you. I'm already led. I already know. I believe that the Lord has told me that my bride is who you've been talking to the last, I don't know how many months now. And by us having this constant communication, and me having this constant communication with my Lord, and me praying for her and for us, I even did a prayer for our marriage, and we wasn't even married. The engagement part didn't even happen. But I just knew it. I just knew it. So even with all of that, coming from where I was at and having a healed heart already, it wasn't like I was damaged goods. I was healed, whole, and made goods. So
I have a question though, because I'm sure there may be men watching this who are convinced, just like you were, that this lady that they are pursuing is their wife. However, the lady that they're pursuing is like, no. What's the difference? How would you know the difference when to continue pursuing and when to let go? Like, can you explain that? Because there may be many men, it's like, no, God told me you're my wife, and then they're pursuing this lady, but it's like, this is not how they should be doing it, because the lady's already shown them, no, I've said no. Like, help us to see the difference in that. What's the difference maker?
Well, the difference maker is relationship with the Father. That is a huge difference. Because if I was to say, the Lord told me that this woman, you're gonna be my wife, and Davina could have been like, he ain't tell me nothing like that, and no, I'm done talking to you. Do you see the difference of me saying, talking to Davina and saying, and us having a conversation all the time and saying, you know, Davina, you know, I would like to know if you would like to be, if you would be my wife. I never approached her saying, God told me that you was gonna be my wife. I asked him. I talked to him. Never mentioned anything to her about it. But my relationship with him was so much stronger to where I was talking to him about her versus her about us. And when you have a relationship with him, he'll reveal that thing to you. You don't have to force it.
I think that's something.
You don't have to force it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. But he's going to give you steps. He's going to tell you some stuff. You and him going to be talking. And the main thing was I kept asking him the questions. I kept going to him and saying things. But the main thing, I kept asking him about her. What is it? Why her? What is it about Davina? You know what I mean? We have to, especially as men, we have this tendency to want to force things to happen. And we're so like, if it don't happen now, or if it don't happen the way I want it to happen, I'm done with you. That's not a godly man attitude. That's not a healed man attitude. And that's not a loving type of attitude. You know, love is patient and love is kind. Love is not pushy. It's not boastful. It's not angry. Love is something that endures. Love is something that says, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Next time, man, maybe let me go back to my dad and say, hey, Dad, you know, I did this, and you know, was this part of your will? Did I do this right? You know, it's not beating her down because she told me no. It was none of that. It was I had my relationship. I had my healed heart. I knew what I wanted. And I'm gonna tell you, some of the brothers, they know what they want. And if they want you, they gonna come after you. But it depends on their posture. If you look at the posture, if God comes to you and you tell, he asks you these questions and asks you that, and you tell him no, check out the reaction.
I was going to say that, the reaction to the no, because I think reaction. One of the things, you didn't pressure at all. You didn't even bring it back up. You didn't even say anything or rub it in my face. It was just like, okay. And I think that helped me to trust you, because I saw how you weren't trying to make something happen. You just said, okay, all right. And in that, God did the working. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
Yeah, that's good, because we also have to allow him to make up the difference of the no and to the yes part. And we have to give him that space. We also have to give the other person the space to process what just happened, because we don't know what's going on in that area. So even though we want something, but it takes that kind of heart that says, okay, all right, what's next? What are we doing now? Because I'm telling you, when she did tell me no, when she did tell me no, I was like, okay. So I said, fine. I said, no thing. I said, but do you want to see the ring? She said no. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. And I think I looked at the ladies, because they were down there, and they was like, whoa, like, oh. But then when I went upstairs, and they was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Kevin. I was like, sorry about what? You ain't did nothing wrong to me. I said, all right, cool.
I'm not going to lie, though. I sometimes wish I had looked at that ring, because, yeah, I love my ring, but, man.
It's okay. Yeah, it's good.
So, but God's good.
Yeah, he is. And I told, you know, but they allowed us to drink the sparkling juice or what have you, and they gave her some flowers. She got some flowers down there. I don't know, what did you do with the flowers, babe? She
You
take
can
them
call them
home.
home.
Yeah. So yeah. And then we went on our day. We went on, and they packed everything up. I left the ring there. And I was like, they's like, you're not taking it? I said, no, just leave it here. You know, I don't know why I did that. Why I didn't take it back with me. I just left it there. Like, no, y'all just, I just left it there with them. It's almost like, see, it was almost like I was prepared for her to say no, but I'm coming back. We gonna be back up in this joint. So
But we weren't.
But we wasn't. But we wasn't. It was another place we was at.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I know the story is just getting good and you're like, why are you interrupting? You were just about to tell us something amazing. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. It really does help us. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and comment. Put your comments down below because your comments help us to know what to do in our next video. And share to the world. Love you.
but yeah, you're getting to that part. But anyhow, that was like I was like, all right, cool. We packed it up, got our stuff, left out. I felt no ways of embarrassment. I felt no ways of discouragement. I didn't look at her differently. I didn't withdraw myself from her. I didn't say, well, this is gonna be a crappy week. Cause now I done proposed to her and she told me no. And you know what? I ain't calling you no more. I'm done with you. What's wrong with you? I'm telling you, my sisters, check out the posture after the no. Look at the attitude. Look at how he received. Look at how he received the no. And look at how he acts. And my brothers, if you're watching, when you do such a thing like this, and she tells you no, you go to your father and you talk to him. Talk to him. But no, that no may be something else. We have to consider why she said no. Consider ourselves of receiving the no, and look to the Lord and say, Father, this is what happened. This is what I said. This is what she said. This is how I felt. I don't know how she felt, but I'm just going to come to you and tell you how I felt. And could you help me in that area? Because I don't want what just happened turn out to be something I don't want.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that she's still secure, that she's still safe, that her heart is still safe with me, and that my heart is safe with her. And I want to make sure, Lord, that this is something that you want for us, not something I just want for myself. Because if you think about it, you have us together has to want something for the other person more than we want for ourselves. But if we go into this whole thing with a selfish mindset that is me, is about me, is about what I want, is how I want to do it, is how it's got to be done my way, stay away.
I had a thought, and I never saw it like this before. But Jesus has made a proposal to each and every one of us, to mankind. And in that, we repeatedly tell him no. We repeatedly tell him no. Say, no, I don't want to marry you right now. No, I'm not ready. No, I don't want that. And time after time after time, he comes back and he says, will you marry me? Will you marry me? Will you marry me? And he is patient, he's kind, he's long-suffering. And Kevin exhibited the character of Jesus in that when I rejected him because of heart wounds, he wasn't offended. He didn't respond, he didn't react. He simply said, okay. And then waited for the next opportune time. And that's a picture of Jesus to me. And I think that's why it was so easy for me to say yes the next time when you asked me.